Hey, it's Tuesday afternoon and today has been my first whole day off in so long and I've loved it. I've spent the whole day doing arty things. A couple of days ago I was on Tumblr and I found this artist who does 3D modeling stuff that I really liked. So I went through to the program that they use and they have a student program. It's called Cinema 4D, and if you can prove that you're a student then you can use their whole software suite for just over 2 years. So yesterday they approved me and said, yep, you're a student, you can use the program. And I spent like 4 hours using it yesterday and it's so good, I love it so much. I didn't go to the module that I usually audit yesterday because my lecturer said that they were doing group work, so not to bother showing up, you know, in a nice way. So I just spent the whole time making a Pokeball, and this is what it looks like. I'm so proud of it. Like, this software is amazing and I'm so excited to learn how to use it properly. There are so many tutorials on YouTube. I love programs that have really big YouTube communities around. So yeah, this is gonna be amazing and I hope that I make some really cool stuff with it. You know when you see a photograph that has catch lights on it from like a softbox or from a skylight or something like that, where like the photograph has been taken in a studio? I learned how to fake that. Ta-da! So I faked these things with the these false softboxes that I have up here. So they look like a skylight on that image and it's so cool, so cool. So now I'm gonna do some uni work ready for Thursday is my next lesson. I have a show to see tomorrow that I was supposed to see tonight, so Brian is going to see it tonight, but I had to move it, and the thing I had to move it for has actually fallen through, but it means that I get the whole day to myself, which is great. In other news, my thighs and bum really hurt because we did a puppetry workshop yesterday and I spent nearly the entire time on my hind quarters. I couldn't think of a better way to say that, but squatting down on the floor to move small little puppets and also jumping across the floor. Hey, it's Thursday morning and I'm so tired. I'm so tired. My friend Dushank came over last night to play Black Ops and stayed the whole night. You know, it was planned and everything. But we just stayed up all night talking about everything like we used to in first year and we haven't been able to do because of scheduling stuff. So it was great. It was so nice, but wow, I'm tired. I just made myself a crisp sandwich because I literally cannot be bothered to do anything right now. I'm just gonna eat, finish my reading, and go back to bed. At 3 I need to leave for a secret project thing. I'm just meeting up with Marie to go over our next plans. And then this evening I have a show to see for uni that Morgan's coming to see with me as well, which is exciting, and that's at the Old Vic. The big high class, upper class theatres always just feel really awkward, and why? Why are you making Drama Elite? Can you not, please? And the play that we're going to see is also about a working class story, and the whole point of us seeing it at the Old Vic is to question the class position of the Old Vic in comparison to the story, and just what is at stake when that kind of theatre tells that kind of story. So it's all very classist right now. I feel like I haven't vlogged very well this week. It's just been a lot of me not doing stuff, which is unusual, so I'll try and make it up. I also need to catch up with like the 2 other vlogs that I need to edit from 2 weeks ago. I don't have free time to do that. That's a lie, I have free time now, I just really want to sleep. Good morning, it's actually Thursday today and I've got a full day and I'm really excited. Are you really excited for the day? I want to go to bed. Well. So we have our 9 o'clock lecture this morning, and then I have a group meeting for an exam piece that we're starting to do now, which is exciting. Also a little bit nerve-wracking because we are not set on what we're going to do, so today is very much like a formative day for us as a group. And then at 5:30 I have a thing at the YouTube space, a happy hour called Empowering Women, and Hannah Witton's going to be there, and a bunch of other people who I don't know, but I will Google before I get there, so I'm really excited for that. I've made sure that I'm dressed in a casual but look, ooh, I'm smart and cool kind of way. And I'm going to take some makeup with me so I can do it later, because I can't be bothered to do my makeup now and I don't have a huge amount of time. It's very cool. Like your outfit is very composed. Casual yet composed is how I would describe it. That is my style this morning. Thank you. That was what I was going for. I'm going to wear my Converse because I got a long day, and so I don't want to be walking around in wedges all day.
Yeah, no. I'm ready for tomorrow. Beef tomorrow.
Oh yeah.
I'm cooking beef.
Yeah, we're having like a Sunday dinner but on a Friday. I've got a bottle of red wine, we've got some beef, we're going to have... Yeah, I have a bottle of red wine that Morgan put in the fridge.
Ah.
Top notch.
You're not supposed to put red wine in the fridge, just in case. Hello.
So the show that we saw last night, which was also one that you saw, which Bryony had warned us that it wasn't particularly good. It was okay. It was alright. I really like the aesthetic. They used a lot of like bright neon yellow, which I thought was really cool. They had a lot of good tableaus. They weren't so good.
Not acting.
Yeah, the acting was pretty poor, and the accents were also like, So, not one I would recommend. Also, I saw Marie yesterday for Secret Project stuff, and we're pushing back everything, so it's going to be a while now until I tell you more about it. But we're on a new schedule, and I bought the Kama Sutra while I was there because she was late, and Morgan and I were talking about buying a copy, so I did while I was there because why not? And then I had a lovely chat with the cashier about it, who was talking about his copy of the Kama Sutra, which is non-illustrated and a bit larger.
Yeah, I'm going to put a suggestive title and thumbnail that some dudes are going to click on, and then I'm going to hit them with some feminism. And they're going to be really mad, but then there's going to be a few of them who are like, oh, wait a second, this is making me think some stuff.
Way less extreme to maybe Claire has experienced. You know, my comments, it's always, you know, oh, your tattoos are amazing.
Today is the 19th. Thursday. It's Thursday evening, and I was at the YouTube space earlier, and now I'm hanging out with people. Is it new friends? Hanging out with people. We're having a great time. It's been amazing, and now we're at Wetherspoons, and we're just hanging and drinking and chatting, and it's lovely, and I'll see you later. But I've just never... Hello! Oh, no, I've just never...
Good morning, it's Friday, it's almost the weekend, one more class and then I'm done. So last night I was at the YouTube space and I didn't vlog my thoughts when I got back home because I'd been drinking, and I've made that mistake once before. Don't vlog when you're drunk. But I had a really nice time. I met a bunch of really cool people who I hope to very much stay in touch with because you were all lovely, you were all so sweet. And everybody was so interesting. Going to the YouTube space is like you meet the most diverse group of people ever because the only thing you have in common is YouTube, which lets you do anything. It's really eye-opening and inspirational because you sometimes get stuck in what you do on YouTube, and it's nice to be like, oh yeah, I could try some of those things. So yeah, I met a bunch of people. I also had a full conversation with Witton about branding, and I was in a group conversation with Lucy Moon. Surreal experiences. I've never met somebody who's big on YouTube before when going to the YouTube space. It's always been like other smaller YouTubers. But it was a great night. We hung out till about 8:30 and then we went to Wetherspoons and hung out for longer. Just, yeah, awesome night. So I have one class and then it's the weekend and I don't particularly have any plans. I'm wearing a nerdy jumper, which I feel not so comfortable in, but all of my clothes are being dried. So it's the nerdy jumper or it's freeze to death. Dun 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 dun! Onto the wall of stuff. That'll do. Just realised I completely forgot to say anything about the panel, which was the whole reason I went to the YouTube space last night. So it was a panel about being female on YouTube and the kind of experiences that generates and the way that the audience responds to you and whether you can make different content, whether you can't make certain content. And there was a lot of things that were said that were kind of expected but were still cool to hear from people who are more successful on YouTube and who experience these things as a more prominent part of their interaction with YouTube. And while the panel wasn't that diverse, Hannah did make a point about how they were all white. I do think the channel types were very diverse, which was really interesting because that actually interestingly intersected with their experience of being female on YouTube. There was a YouTuber who was very into like grime music back in the day and who has a very male audience, which was a perspective that like I didn't really realise was there. I kind of assumed that not many female YouTubers have male-based audiences, so that was very inappropriate. Not good of me. That was very not good of me. Presumptuous, I guess, is the word I was looking for. And there was also Baker, there was Laura Bubble, and then there was Hannah. So everybody had a different perspective, which was really cool, and then we did like a Q&A at the end. Laura Bubble actually said a really interesting thing about how she wears more makeup in videos now than she used to, and most of the panel like agreed with her that they did the same thing. They said that they often felt pressured by audiences to do stuff on makeup because that was what they were expected to do because they were female. And afterwards I went up to her and said, you said like the really interesting point about feeling pressured to wear makeup on YouTube. I feel the same, except like I never didn't wear makeup on YouTube. The only time that I don't is when I'm vlogging, because then I feel like it's more, this is what I look like in real life. But if I'm doing a proper video, I feel like I have to wear makeup. I was chatting to her about, even though you might like makeup, which I do and she does, it's weird to have that sense of pressure and to also enjoy making yourself up for a video. It was a really interesting conversation. It was lovely. All of the people who I met later from the panel were lovely. Books and Quills is lovely. So yeah, it was absolutely great. If you get the chance to go to a panel at the YouTube Space, they're awesome. They run really well. It was also filmed, so I think it's going to be online. So if I find it, I will include a link down in the description, because it was great, so you might enjoy actually watching what we talked about. And there, okay, I think I covered everything. I think I'd been out of the house 10 minutes before my hair fell apart. Good times, good times. I might redo it later because we've got a guest coming, but then also like, I might not be able to be bothered to do it. I can just leave it, it's my house. But yeah, we're having beef today. We're having slow roasted beef again, like we did on Brandy's birthday, so I'm really excited because I love beef. I just came home and had a nap because I'm so tired. It's like I'm not hanging around in uni. I'm just gonna go home and then I'm gonna have, first of all I'm gonna tidy because the flat is really messy, and like I said, we've got a guest. So tidy, then I'm gonna have a coffee and try and catch up with all the vlogging that I'm behind on. If I hadn't already set up the convention that there's a vlog for every week, then I would probably just bin them, in spite of there being interesting stuff to watch, but I can't, and I don't want to either. I want you to see what I've been doing in the last few weeks. Don't you just hate it when you get behind on editing and forget to film outros to stuff? I do. This is 2 weeks later, but give me an ego boost, like the video, subscribe, and I'll see you again soon.